Students, 15 and 16 out of book 2 today. We're looking at treading lightly and smooth move. I'm going to lay that out. It's windy out here. All right, 15, staccatos. We've learned it before, but look above. Staccatos are any notes, the little dot below. And they're played lightly with separation. That just means we're going to play it short. So example, I'm going to play first two measures. All of them are staccato except that half note in the second measure. This is 15 of book 2. Sounds. Everything is short except that half note. So anytime we're playing staccatos, you want to make anything that's not a staccato really long so it contrasts. The more contrast we have in music, generally sounds better. Here we go. Let's sight read 15. Ready? 15. 2, 1, 2, ready. Ooh, 1, 2, ready. Cool. Hopefully you did better than me. I messed up a little bit there. Let me point out a couple things on treading lightly. Another one of these half notes or notes tied to an eighth note. And remember, in music, the shorthand is they're trying to tell you when to cut off. They want you to cut off on beat. Think about what this would be on. Half note gets 1, 2, so this would be beat 3. So for the last note, we go do off on 3. So it sounds like this. See if you can hear me like off on 3. Sounds. 1, 2, off. And for you wind players, remember we don't cut off with the tongue, we just stop the air. So here's cutting off with the tongue. So yeah, I kind of had like a sudden stop. We want to instead just stop the air, stop pushing the air. So it's kind of the opposite of what you'd think. You'd think we're supposed to use the tongue to cut off, but it sounds better when we just stop the air. Don't use the tongue to cut off. It just kind of rings a little bit more. Very cool. So, it'll usually tell you if it wants you to cut off with the tongue. Some songs want it to be sudden and fierce like that. This isn't one of them. Piano. So we should be playing it quietly. So quietly and staccato, especially for brass instruments, that's going to be a little tough. I can think flute would be tough as well. They use a lot of air. So small amounts of air and tongue. How do we do staccatos? It's a quick tonguing. So say tut. Ready? Tut. So think tut, 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 tut. Say that with me. Ready? Go. Tut, 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 tut. Now do it with your air as if you're playing. Ready? Short, quick bursts. Let's play that. Just the first two measures and the first note of the third measure. 2, ready? Now let's do it piano. Ready? 2, ready? And I keep adding a crescendo on the half note just because I don't know what I'm trying to make it more interesting. There's no crescendo, so you don't have to add it in, but I think it sounds neater. It's a little bit of drama. I think that's everything you need to practice this sucker. So make sure, cut off on 3 on the last note, playing staccato. So pause, practice, come back, we'll do final performance. All right, now that you're back, 2, staccato, 2, ready? All right, 16, we have the opposite of a staccato. We have tenutos. So staccatos right there with the dot. Tenuto is with the line. And if you read right there, tenuto notes are played smoothly and connected, holding each note until the next is played. So it's the opposite. You don't want like any space in between the notes. If I'm playing staccato, there's a bunch of space. You're going to hear the space in between the notes. Tenuto's the opposite. We're going to use almost no space in the middle. Ooh, it's like it's thick jelly or something like that, I like to think. So how do we do that? Instead of like in a staccato, we're going to go da, da, da. Say 15 with me, but da. Ready? Da, 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 da. Now push air with the same kind of tongue movement. Now let's try playing 15 with tenutos instead of staccatos. Ready? One, just first two measures, end on the third measure. So anytime it has a dot over or under, you're going to play staccato, short. Anytime it has tenuto under, you're going to play long. Da, 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 da. Ready? Let's sight read 16. Anything with that line under its tenuto, we're going to play it long. 1, 2, 3, 1, 16. Another pretty easy one, we just have quarter notes, eighth note near the end, but don't forget dotted half note, 3 beats. Do, 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 tenuto, 1, 2, 3, do. And I don't have anything else to say about those guys, so go ahead and go to practicing, and we'll do final performance together. Make sure you're doing da, 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 and with the air sounds almost no space in between the notes. Almost like a slur, but you're tonguing. So you're trying to make it as much of a slur as possible, but you have to tongue. All right, go ahead and practice. Come on back. We'll do final performance together. 16. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 16. Cool, cool. I'm just going to leave you with one more thing before we go. Make sure you do tongue with tenuto after that. It feels like it should be a 3 slur thing. Do, do. But it's do, do, do. It wants you to tongue there and there as well. Remember, this is a clarinet book, so this is going to look different for anybody else besides clarinets. All right. Happy practicing. I'll see you for 17. And remember not to move on to new songs until 100%. Didn't make any mistakes. All right. See you in the next one.